I'm Catherine Sutherland.
And I'm Nakia Burrise.
We encourage you to watch The Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV
and YouTube. Don't forget to click and subscribe.
The night, just to see a brighter side. 'Cause I've been working all my life just to make it. Just to make it. Just to make it. I've been working all my life.
Hey, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. Thank you for joining us today. So I was talking with a colleague earlier, and they were telling me about some things that were going on at their job. And they were saying to me that, people tell them to, change up their style, and, you may want to do things this way, you might want to be so formal, all these other kind of stuff that they find in this person. So they're in so many ways picking at this individual. And so I told them, as they told me this information, I was just listening to them. And as I told them, I told them that, we should accept this as a compliment, because they took time out of their day to look at what I'm doing. Or they took time just to say, oh, you noticed this and noticed this about me. I consider it a compliment because, again, you took time for me. Will I change? No, because this is me. This is who I am. Everyone is uniquely made in their own special way. The way we laugh, the way we talk, the way we walk. So because you see something that you want to change within me, that tells me that you're dealing with something on the inside, right? So that means that you're wanting to change something for yourself. You're struggling with yourself because you don't want to change for yourself. Don't allow other people's words to dictate your life. Take control of your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. Continue to do you, because you've been doing it all your life, and it has worked for you thus far. So let's continue to do it. Don't allow a person's insecurities to dictate who you are. It's the ongoing lesson, people. Definitely ongoing. Now, y'all, I am so excited. We're wrapping up Where Are They Now week, and we're ending with the Power Rangers. And so we get to chat with David J. Fielding, who is Zordon. And then also we have Nakia and Catherine, who are on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Turbo, Zeo, and Ninja. Oh my gosh, they just talk about their experience and the love they have for their fans, and the love also they have one another. They are so close. Oh my god, they're like twins. You're going to see why. So more to come. Don't you go away. We'll be right back. Coming up, we have Zordon. David J. Fielding's with us. We'll be right back. Our guests today have had a total of over 60 jobs in their lifetime so far. We have Tabitha James and Tasha Marshall, and we receive career advice from Richard Drosen. Jobs on the next Finkley. Monday.
She is flexible, and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I I, Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
Discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and best wishes.
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we are often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. Being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac Devine, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
What's up, y'all? I'm Leon Frierson, former cast member from Nickelodeon's All That and co-host of the Prime Nostalgia podcast. And I'm here to ask you to join me in watching the Michael Finkley Show weekly on YouTube. Now, I've been on the show, so I definitely know it's a platform where you'll be educated, informed, and inspired. Now, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on YouTube.
My bossy and my crib.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, our next guest, he's a writer, he's an actor, he's an author, but he's best known for his awesome portrayal of Zordon of the Power Rangers. It is David J. Fielding. David, how are you?
I am very good. How are you?
I am super well. Thank you for being with us today, y'all. I'm starstruck. This is Zordon, y'all. This is Zordon.
Teleport to the answer immediately.
Oh my gosh, he did it. He did. I just want to say it's morphin' time. I do. Oh my word. Again, thank you, David, for being with us today. So, David, let's go back a little bit, right? So you're growing up, your father was in the Air Force, so you're traveling a lot. You as a child, you're reading your comics. Did you ever imagine, even then, that you would have the voice to entertain?
I didn't imagine it when I was growing up. I mean, I was sort of like the class clown when I was in school. I learned early on that I had an affinity for mimicry. I would do different people's voices. I would try to talk like John Wayne or other types of movie stars and that sort of thing. And I would use that to sort of make friends. I would get people to laugh and, hope that they would like me and stuff like that. So when I got into high school and I really decided that I would like to try to make a living being an actor, that's when I started to think, oh, it would be really nice if something like that would happen. And there are so many people that go to either New York or Los Angeles with these dreams to sort of like land a role that people will remember them for. And luckily, I was one of those people that was in the right place at the right time, and I got to be a big blue floating head. So there you go.
Not many can say that, David. Not many can say that. But before even that, you have degrees in acting, correct?
Yeah, I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts at Southwest Texas State in San Marcos, Texas, and then I got my Master of Fine Arts in acting at the University of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania.
Gotcha. And let's talk about this role that has made you famous for these so many years, Zordon of the Power Rangers. And let's talk about the fact that this was somewhat handed to you. Let's talk about that.
Well, I wouldn't say it was actually handed to me. I mean, it was the audition process for it was a lot different than what most of the other actors on the show went through. Mm-hmm. All of the other actors went through a multi-week process, and they had to do some very physical stuff. They had to work with different actors, reading lines off each other and that sort of thing. Right. And so they were looking for some very athletic, good-looking, and a group of actors that would work well together.
Right.
So that was going on with them. I was brought into the process very late. They were filming the pilot of the show, and they hadn't cast the role of Zordon yet. And so rather than put out a casting call for 1,000 people to try to come to, they just reached out to a number of people, and I happened to be one of the people that they reached out to because a friend of mine that I went to Southwest Texas State University, she was actually working as one of the assistants on the production. And she knew that I had just recently moved to Los Angeles. I'd only been in Los Angeles for a couple of months, and asked me if I would like to come down and read for the part. And I said, yeah, of course, that's exactly why I'm here. So when I got down there, I expected it to be like a catacall, that there would be like over 1,000 people. I would go in, read my lines, and go home and never hear anything. But when I got down there, it was just myself and another gentleman. And he went in first. He did his 20 minutes with the group. And then I went in and I met the original cast. I met the director, the producers, the studio heads. And then they stood me up on a table, and I basically used the same voice that we ended up using on the show. And a week later, I was in a warehouse in Studio City, and they shaved all my hair off and glued my ears back and slathered me with green latex paint, filmed me against a green screen, and the rest is history.
There you go. And we know that any true Power Ranger fan will know that your last appearance was Power Rangers in Space. You know, when Andros had to let you go on to a better place to actually bring relief to the citizens of Angel Grove. And so would you actually come back as this character?
I would love to. I mean, again, it's science fantasy, so I'm sure that they would be able to figure out some science fantasy way to visit the character again. Zordon is very unique in the history of Power Rangers because there's no Sentai equivalent. Power Rangers is based on the Super Sentai series that's filmed in Japan. And that series has been going on since like the early 70s, right? So when Haim Saban bought the rights to use the footage to create the American Power Rangers series, there was no Zordon character over in the Japanese version. Zordon is a completely American invention for the show. So most, if not all, of the seasons of Power Rangers after Mighty Morphin still base their storylines and characters off those Sentai characters.
Okay.
So if they would bring Zordon back in one of these series, they'd have to do some like real finagling to try to get the character back in there, because there's no storyline from the Japanese version that's going to mention that character or talk about that character. So I think it's possible. Anybody, in the creative writing industry would be able to craft a storyline that would make sense. And they've done a really great job with the Boom Comics about telling the backstory of the character and stuff like that. So, and if they don't do it in live action, maybe, they might even do it would be great if they did like an animated series, and that way you could explore the character that way and save on special effects and all those kind of great things. But
I would watch.
Yeah. So, I always keep my options open, if anybody calls or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, let's talk.
Right. And you being on this awesome series, how did it change your life?
It didn't really change my life until about 2014, really.
Okay.
Because when we did the show, there was no pop culture. The pop culture explosion hadn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
There was no social media back then.
Yeah.
And when we did the show, the way I looked at it was like any other Saturday morning cartoon type show, where these shows were done so often and they would get replaced so often that it might be on the air for a year, might be on the air for 2 years, and then it would go into syndication or repeats or whatever. But then it would fade. People would not think about it for a long time.
Right.
And when I left Los Angeles very early on, I left Los Angeles shortly after the show went on the air. And it had nothing to do with the show or the people on the show. I was just very unhappy living out there. I wasn't auditioning. I was working like 2 jobs trying to pay rent and something like that. Was very afraid that I would end up living under a bridge or something like that. So mentally and emotionally, I was really burned out by LA. So I left. And they still use my face throughout the life of the character. And then another voice actor named Robert Manahan took over the voice of Zordon. So it was still my face, but it was Robert's voice. And I always like to acknowledge Robert, even though he's not with us anymore. He passed away in 2011, I think. Circling back to the original question, once social media has started to happen, once the internet became really big and people started to get connected, and I joined Facebook, and starting around 2011, 2012, I started getting messages from people saying, "Are you the David Fielding from Power Rangers?" And up until that point, it was just a really sort of interesting anecdote that I could tell people at parties. Oh yeah, I was on a kids television show or whatever.
Right.
But starting in 2014, when I went to my first Power Morphicon out in Los Angeles, that was like one of the first times I realized, wow, this thing is huge. And since then, I've been lucky enough to be asked to attend a number of Comic-Cons all around the world, and got to travel and meet so many people and hear their stories and share in their joy and love of this show. So it really has changed my life in the last 6 years or so, and opened some doors, created some opportunities, and has allowed me to become a citizen of the world, really, because millions of people around the world know what Power Rangers is, and they know my face, and so that's very humbling to know that, you know, we've touched so many lives. And so I try to stay respectful and appreciative of that. And without you guys, without the fans, you know, we would have faded into obscurity. And so we're very thankful for you guys. And I try to take every opportunity that I can to say thank you very much. So thank you, Michael Finkley, for watching Power Rangers. So.
Oh, yes, and I still do. At the age of 31, I still do. And so you are an author as well, Dave. Please tell us about your publications.
Sure. Well, I always liked to write as a kid, and but never really took it seriously until around 2009. I started to say, okay, well, let's see if I can actually do something with this, and started to write a bunch of short stories and submit them to publications or to anthologies, and was lucky enough to get a number of them bought. And then I tried my hand at writing a full-length novel, and I wrote Vigilance, which is a superhero novel. And then in 2013, I came up with a short story called Buddy Holly and the Cold, Cold Ground. And that's where I created my character, Lincoln Bright. Lincoln is a, how do I describe him? He's a sensitive. He can see and hear things that other people cannot. And so I created a novel around Lincoln and the world of that he inhabits. And that's led to 3 other books and a 4th one on the way. And so yeah, I'm having a lot of fun writing those. So yeah.
Amazing. You stay busy, David. I see you're staying busy. And so besides Zordon, how does David want to be remembered?
Oh, that's a great question. I would like to be remembered as someone who, in some aspect, made someone's life a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my own personal philosophy, but I honestly believe that life really isn't about me. It's about all the other people in the world. And as long as I can help someone or encourage someone or support someone and lift them up, then, you know, that sort of thing ripples outward and continues to build. And it's very easy in the world to focus on the negative, because there are bad things that happen, there are negative things that happen, and news headlines seem to focus on that sort of thing, and it's very easy to get caught up in the darkness that can happen. And so whenever I can, I try to create some sort of positivity, even though the stories that I write are dark and filled with like monstrous kind of stuff. There's always that hope. There's always that sort of let's get to the light kind of thing. And so that's what I try to do in my life, is that if I can lift somebody up, then they're going to lift somebody up, and that's going to lift somebody up, and it's just going to continue on and on and on. And the more we need more of that, right?
Exactly. We're paying it forward, David. I love it. How can they find you on social media?
Sure. I'm on Twitter at David J. Fielding. You can find me on Instagram at DJ Fielding _Zordon. I'm on TikTok as The Real Zordon. And I have my Zordon page on Facebook as well, so they can find me there.
All right. All your information is going to be in the description below. Thank you, David, for being with us. Y'all, it's Zordon. I can't get over it. It's Zordon. Thank you for being with us, David.
Sure. And may the power protect.
I'll be right back. Next, it's morphin' time. We have Power Rangers with us, Catherine and Nakia. We'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Toby. You know me from Sister Act 2, Mr. Oh Happy Day, and the hit R&B group City High. I'm welcoming everybody to join and tune into the Michael Finkley Show on YouTube and also on the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. Don't forget to subscribe.
Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you. Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie, Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie, Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming their life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program, visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
I'm just not college material. I am tired of school. I'm just not sure what I want to do after graduation. Sound familiar? Welcome to the Prelo Educational Institute. Our focus is to help young people prepare for life after high school. It's never too early to start planting the seed for education, career, and life overall. The Prelo Educational Institute is made up of the following 2 products. The first product is the book titled I Ain't Going to College, A Guide for Life After High School. This is the first book of a series that introduces middle and high school students to a young man struggling to find his way and make the decision about whether attending college is the right choice for him or not. The book has questions inside, and a supplemental curriculum can also be purchased. The newest product from the Prelo Educational Institute is our online course titled Preparing for Life After High School. In this course, students will learn about decision-making, self-confidence, accountability, self-awareness, and many other topics that speak to social-emotional learning. Young people will read a story about a young man who never gave up no matter what the circumstances were. The course is interactive and has questions, quizzes, and video. Do not wait until your child or student is a senior in high school to start planning. Enroll today. To enroll and learn more, please visit www.speakerauthormarlowe.com.
Need a little motivation? Timothy Clifton is with us every week on Mondays to get your week started with a little motivation, all here on The Michael Finkley Show. Hello everybody, welcome back to The Michael Finkley Show. Y'all, we are still celebrating Where They Now week, and I had to bring in someone from my childhood, the Power Rangers. Y'all, introducing, that's Kat, and that is Nakia. Thanks for being with us today, ladies.
It's a great day.
It's a great day. It's an awesome day. Y'all, I'm interviewing Power Rangers, y'all. I just got finished talking with Zordon, and now I'm interviewing the Power Rangers. That's just so amazing to me. And so when you both were growing up, each of you can actually answer this question. When you both were growing up, did you want to be in front of a camera?
Yes. That was my, yeah. When I was little, I'm going to tell my story.
Wonder Woman.
I said I was, I was Wonder Woman in my underoos, and I'd be running around, and my belt would be my whip, and I'd be whipping my brothers. But I used to perform in front of my parents. I said I was going to be an actress, singer, dancer, model, and a cashier. I know, it's always a cashier.
Wait,
and I've done it all.
Cashier?
I know. I like pressing the buttons. I know, special. But yeah, I enjoy entertaining. I enjoy making people laugh. I enjoy moving people, and to be able to do that as a career and get paid for it. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yes, and I think my mom said from, I started ballet when I was about 4 or 5, and I would be doing grand jetés and pirouettes down the street. And same thing. I used to make my brother play the guitar, and I would perform for my family. It just was in my blood from a very young age, and started doing musicals and stuff for school. And then I went to performing arts school when I was about 13.
Okay.
It's like a Juilliard kind of a school. And that's when I discovered more the acting and singing part of things. So.
Oh my word, that's amazing. It is amazing how at an early age you all spoke it, and it had to come to pass, right? It had to happen for yourselves. And so please, please, please tell us about how this opportunity came about of Power Rangers. And the rest is history, but how did this come to you all?
Start.
You want me to start this time? You can go, right?
Catherine, you start.
So I was modeling and acting in Australia, and I just got an audition for a series regular role in a children's show that filmed in Hollywood. So I was immediately excited about it. I didn't know what Power Rangers was at all. And the first audition I had to do was a martial arts routine and a scene. And in the scene, my character was Catherine, with but spelled with K. And so I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of serendipity. Maybe this is meant to be mine." So I did the role, and then second call back, they had me do a second scene. And then my third call was with Shuki Levy, who was one of the producers. And when I left the room, I remember telling him very boldly, like, "I hope you make the right decision," which I would never normally say. That was just not like me at all.
Wow.
And then about 3 weeks later, they called me and offered me the role, and it just completely changed my whole life. It's crazy.
Amazing.
Now,
Amazing.
I've heard you tell that story a million times, and I never heard that you had to do a second scene.
Yeah, three auditions.
But they gave you a different scene to
Yes,
do?
yes.
Really?
Yes. So the first scene, I remember it was more of like me, the bad cat kind of stuff. And then the second scene was showing like a softer side, like a nicer side of me. Because,
Wow.
my character was evil when I first came on the show. So you didn't know that.
Hey,
Have I not said that?
I have never heard you say that you had to do a second scene.
Yeah, second
Interesting.
scene. So I had three auditions. Anyways.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's an exclusive, y'all. That's an exclusive.
Exclusive. You heard it right here on the Michael Finkley Show.
Because we've
Yes.
talked about our audition process many, many times, and I don't ever recall hearing that part. So I was a college student at the time. I was a junior at UCLA, actually in the School of Theater, Film, and Television, and I didn't know what Power Rangers was either because I wasn't really watching television at the time. I was 20 at the time. And I get this audition, they just tell me to wear yellow. I don't know that I'm going to be a Power Ranger. I don't know I'm replacing anybody. I just know that it's a series regular and I'm going to school for it, and how blessed I would be to get it. So I only had one scene to do. I didn't have to do martial arts. They just asked me about my dance experience and stuff like that. They wanted to make sure I was a dancer, but they never tested me on it. So I could have been lying.
Yeah.
I could have been like, yeah, I could
That's
boogie on down.
interesting,
Yes.
because the first group it was more about the skill of the martial arts than the acting. Like they had to do a whole, like Karen had to do a whole improvisation.
Well, here's the thing. We're discovering things right here on the show, Michael. Listen. Well, you know what?
This is great.
Because I was coming in as Zio, remember, we didn't fight at
That's
all
true.
in Zio.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why, because they had
Yeah.
already covered Johnny and Karen and everybody for Mighty Morphin. They were fighting even for the movie.
Right.
And then when Zio came in, we only had stunt guys. So we never fought.
Right.
So I was really, really excited about Turbo because we did 6 weeks of fight training. All of the guys are martial artists, period. So they're just amazing, but it was so much fun. Kat and I had such a great time with the fighting. So I had 5 auditions, and then my screen test was with this one right here.
That
so
one.
she's the first person that fat chick.
This one.
So she was the first person that I met. And I felt an instant. I didn't get a chance to talk to her beyond, but I thought she was nice. But as soon as I got on the set and everything, everybody was very welcoming, and we became really, really well.
Sisters.
As you can tell. As you can tell, I don't like her at all.
I know, because you're like twins. I can't tell you apart, literally.
We literally have become the same person. Like we text, we're in a group text, we actually text the same responses sometimes. And I hear myself saying things that she would say. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time together.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And so as time went on, how long were you each on the show?
I was only actually on 6 months before Nakia. So although it looks like I was on a lot longer, it was only 6 months. So I joined the cast in June '95, and then I think she came like February.
October.
Oh, October. Oh, so it wasn't even 6 months.
Yeah, because I booked it right
4
before
months.
my birthday.
Yeah,
so,
4 months. That's all I was on. Yeah.
So we came in 95 and left in 97.
Yeah.
So we did 50 episodes of Zio. You did some Mighty Morphin, and then we did like 15 to 20 of Turbo.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sure. Wow, that's amazing. And that's amazing. And so as time went on, how did it change your life? What have you been up to?
Nothing. I'm a pole dancer now.
Oh, she's so good. She's so good.
No.
Because you know what I was going to say. You know what I was going to say, Nakia?
What?
Show us some of your stuff, but you can't do this on the show. But continue. We can continue.
No, I'm giving a shout out to the pole dancers because those are some real talent. I'm not kidding. Like that is some extra strength.
Yes.
Well, I never stopped acting. After Power Rangers, I went on to I actually was teaching, substitute teaching and acting. So that's the reality of everything. Yeah. I didn't find a consistent work, and I had a family, and so I would go between substitute teaching and acting jobs.
Okay.
So now I just live off of my acting, and I still do commercials. I have a recurring role on Danger Force, a Nickelodeon show, where I play the mother of two superhero twins, which is really funny, which is really, really great. And then Kat and I have Power Rangers Playback YouTube channel. And so that has been a job in itself.
And Super Chat podcast. Yeah, we have added a podcast to that.
Yeah. So, and we travel. We just started. Well, I just started traveling again for signings, because that was a way of life. We would do 2 to 3 conventions a month, and then COVID hit, and it was just like. So I just started traveling. Literally last weekend was my first day back on a plane in a year.
Okay, neat, Catherine.
Yes. Well, it completely changed my life forever. I always thought that I would move to America, actually, when I was growing up in Australia. So it, coming to a whole new culture, a whole new country, and experiencing that was huge for me. But my life just kind of unfolded here. I was only 20 when I moved here. So my husband and I contemplated briefly going back to Australia, but it just didn't happen. Once you kind of develop your friends and everything, we created our own family. Yes, it's harder. So so when I left the show, it was very distressing for me, because I was under contract to Saban, so I wasn't able to work for anybody else. I had no opportunity to audition or anything after Power Rangers for quite some time.
How long?
Probably a year.
Yeah,
about a
but
year.
they weren't giving you any money.
No. But the one thing I will say
What
that
sense does that make?
They paid for my green card, so they helped me go through the process of that, and I'm extremely grateful, because it's very expensive. So I got my green card through them, and then I actually got my citizenship. They paid for that too.
Oh, good.
So that was it. Anyway, so when I left the show, I ended up doing personal training, and I taught this Pilates and gyrotonic, and then I had babies, and I stepped away from everything and raised my babies, and kind of started coming back into the business a little bit in 2010, and started doing conventions, and that was extremely time consuming with having 2 little ones I was raising and traveling. I've written a book. I'm writing another one, which is going very slowly, but this one keeps me on track.
Very slowly.
Very slowly. I'm a little bit of a procrastinator, Michael, a little bit, but I'm trying. She does keep me on track, and she's very inspiring. She got her computer out on the airplane, and I was like, I can get my computer out.
While she was watching Netflix. She was watching her show.
But I wrote. I did write. She inspired me. Anyway, so yes, and then our show has been such a blessing doing Power Rangers Playback, and has taken off bigger than we even expected, and now we've added the podcast to it, so that keeps us very.
Oh my gosh. And so again, please talk about this podcast, because Super Chat, as you have started this new endeavor, what is that about? Tell our viewers that.
Well, Power Rangers Playback YouTube channel is all things Power Rangers. We watch Power Ranger episodes, review. We have guests that also watch episodes that they really loved. Power Ranger guests. Coming up actually this Wednesday, Walter Jones. We're watching the Itsy Bitsy Spider, and he comments and talks about his experience on the set and offset and all of that stuff. So that's going to be really, really great. So we have a game show. We have all things Power Rangers with Power Rangers Playback YouTube. So what we wanted to do with Super Chat was we wanted to kind of step away from Power Rangers and give people a slice of our lives.
Right.
The reality of, I am a mother of a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old. I've been married for 21 years. There have been highs, there have been lows.
Right.
We talk about our time in COVID, how it's been. We talk about 2020, because 2020 was
Listen.
It was like beyond eye-opening, it
was.
You get to see who true friends are. You get to see what people really believe. Like it was so
intense.
eye-opening. We had many cries.
Yes.
We had many things happen. So we really give them a slice of our lives. And then we also invite our guests some of them are Power Ranger guests, and we're going to have some that are not Power Ranger guests, but we're talking about life now.
Right.
And their perspectives on things too, you know, like talking about, we have different segments where we just get candid with people and talk about all kinds of things, from what they're doing before and since Power Rangers to what their passions are. When we have Erin Cahill as a guest, she talks about her charity work. So we wanted to expand beyond our Power Ranger audience as well. So people are listening to us now that don't even know us from the show. We've got more women. We're exposing to more women because a lot of our audience is male dominated. So it's really nice to just spread our tentacles out a little further.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. That is amazing. And through all your experience, because you are legacy trenders, you really are. People remember you and will remember you. What has this experience taught each of you?
To be grateful. I mean, we often get into, you know, we talk a lot about our experience on Power Rangers and off of Power Rangers, and you know, Power Rangers was not a union show, so we didn't get the luxuries that most actors do with luxury shows, with getting residuals, getting paid nicely, and all of that kind of stuff. Which is why, you know, most of us that left the show were like, okay, well, what the hell do we do now?
Right.
If you didn't save money, you're 20 years old, and most people don't save, you know, they don't save up their money. It's like, okay, what do we do? But when I look back at things, we wouldn't be traveling if it wasn't for Power Rangers. We wouldn't have a YouTube channel. We wouldn't have a super chat. We wouldn't have the fandom that we have if it wasn't for Power Rangers. So I am very grateful for the experience and just trying to appreciate where God has brought us. Because there are very many moments where I'm just like, Lord, why is this happening? And then I'm like, oh, okay, thank you, Lord. Because I need to appreciate today because I remember yesterday.
Listen, you imagine real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
I think for me, I think gratitude is my word also. I think that when we were on the show, we didn't realize the impact that we were truly having. You know, we knew people loved the show, but it's been such a gift to be able to travel and meet our fans, and social media, even though it's a hot mess right now, it has been a gift to be able to reach out to people through social media. And we hear stories all the time of kids that were bullied, and Power Rangers gave them some hope and helped them face the struggles and challenges in their lives, or kids that were going through chemo and they watched Power Rangers to get them through it, and just story after story like that. And it's just such a gift to be able to be such a positive influence in someone's life like that. And so that's, you know, that's carried with us all these years. And now, you know, we feel like it's our job now to give back to the fans, you know, give back to them for all that they've given us. So
and continue
to give us such a loyal fandom. Yeah.
Paying it forward. I love that. Amazing, ladies. Amazing. And so I've learned what this phrase really means, of what I'm about to tell you. When I talk with persons at times, they always say, I'm living in the dream, right? I'm living in the dream. I know what that finally means now, because when I got this awesome platform, I can truly say I'm living in my dream, because it's always been a dream of mine to do this. You're living in your dream now. What is that next biggest dream for each of you? What does that look like?
First of all, my eyes got a little teary-eyed when you said you're living your dream. That is absolutely amazing. Not very many people can say that they're literally living their dream, because I feel like I'm still on a journey to reach my destination. I haven't quite gotten to where God is taking me yet. And the waiting period for me can often be like teeth pulling. The struggle is real. So ultimately, I would love to see our show turn into a television show in some way, shape, or form. I would like to be a series regular again. Of course, I've been able to guest star and do recurring, but I would like to be a series regular on a television show. I'd love for it to be my own television show that I've written.
She's a very good producer.
Thank you. That would be my ultimate goal, but God would have to definitely show me how to balance all of that. And I would love to be able to hire hundreds of people to work that would be to be able to be a boss, to be able to bless some of my friends that I know have been struggling in the business as well, and who want, you know, some part in there, whether it's be in front of the camera or behind the camera. I would love to be able, I see Adam Sandler and you see all of his friends in the same movie.
In the same movie. Yeah.
I just think it's amazing. You already know the faces you're going to see. That I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I want to be a blessing to my friends and be able to do that in front and behind the camera. So that would be my ultimate dream.
I love it.
And I don't have, when I think of a dream, it's not really like, I don't have an end goal. My dream is about being content with where I am. So I want to just be truly happy. And I don't know, that changes daily, to be honest with you. Like sometimes I last night I was just sitting on the couch with my family around me and I felt so fulfilled in that moment. And then there's I got really excited on my drive here because Kia and I are going to work today and together. And so it depends for me. I feel like it depends on what's going on in my life, but I just want to be content. I don't need a lot, but I just want to feel good and content with where I am.
In every situation.
Yes.
I ditto that too. Because that means more than anything.
Yeah.
Because even if you get to where you think your dream is, you get there and you're like, some people are like, I want more, or this isn't what I saw. Like Paul says in the Bible, I would like to be content in every situation, no matter if I'm in prison or I'm not going to prison, but
no prison
for me, but just be content in every situation.
Yeah. And because you're Nakia's like a major goal getter. She's so driven, and it propels her forward. Like it's like a propeller, you know, moving her forward. But I think you do reach those things, but you want more. You're always reaching for new heights, and that's a good thing. That's part of who you are. But when you get to those things, being content, but it's okay to still want more than where you are. So
that is amazing. I am loving this. This is amazing. Like the togetherness. You can't buy this. You can't buy this. You really can't. And then as you were saying about the contentment, you know, the peace at the end of the day, you cannot purchase it. It's a thing that you have to experience, and it's a good experience. I'll always want to be there. How can they find you on social media?
We have Instagram. Both of us have personal Instagram, Nakia Burrise and Catherine_Sutherland. And then we also have a Power Ranger Playback page, which advertises and talks about our show and our podcast. And then we also are on Facebook. We are on Twitter for Power Rangers Playback. Nakia's on Twitter. I am not. I don't know why.
We're in Facebook jail right now, though. We've been in
Facebook
jail.
Well, Power Rangers Playback is not, but we are both in jail for Facebook.
Why are you both in jail? Huh?
I don't know. I cannot.
They don't tell you.
Yes.
That's the irony. They send you an email and say you're in jail, and you say why, and they say we'll get back to you, and then they'd either let you be out of jail or they don't.
I can't publish anything on my Facebook page, so
it's weird. It's because I think what happened for both of us was she posted a video and I posted a picture, and if you don't give credit to the person that did it, then they ban you or whatever. They punish you.
Yeah. Because sometimes we get someone will tag us in a post and it's not their post. They've tagged us from somewhere else. So you'll give the person that tagged you the credit, but they're not the originator. That's happened to me a couple of times.
How would you know that?
Yeah, exactly.
So I've been in Facebook jail.
She has.
Still there.
I'll put something on your books. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
But
we also have websites. We have Power Rangers Playback website. We both have personal websites. So you can find us in a lot of places, Michael.
Just type in our name and
it all comes up. Bam.
I love it. And all your information will be in the description below as well. Y'all, it is Nakia and it is Catherine. We thank you for being with us, sharing your words, your wisdom, and your knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. God bless you.
Oh, back in a moment. I just love this.
again, it's your girl Trinice from American Idol, and I am encouraging you to tune into the Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV and YouTube.
Calling all Trio, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our College Readiness Cohort Series. This College Readiness Series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really? If you're interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you. Our guests today have had a total of over 60 jobs in their lifetime so far. We have Tabitha James and Tasha Marshall, and we receive career advice from Richard Drosen. Jobs, jobs, jobs on the next Finkley. Monday. Welcome back. I hope that you were entertained today. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun with this show. Y'all, because I'm a big fan of Power Rangers still. As I said, I still watch it, and I don't care who knows it. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, David, Nakia, Kat, for being on today, sharing your words, your wisdom, and your knowledge. Thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate you. On the next, Michael Finkley. Oh my gosh, on Monday. Now, how many jobs have you had in your lifetime thus far? Well, our guests on Monday tell us that combined together, they've had over 60 jobs in their lifetime. But they get to tell their story and tell their tale of why and how and what they've learned through these experiences. And we also have Richard Drosen with us, our career specialist, our career coach with us to give us advice on saying, is this normal? So that's another show you don't want to miss. If you're not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring the bell for notification. We'll see you in email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And for up-to-date information about us on The Michael Finkley Show, please visit our website at michaelfinkleyshow.com. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good weekend. Relax, chill out, do you. And guess what? We'll come back on Monday and we'll talk about it. Have a good one.